welcome back to Worth the Time. I'm Nery, and in this show I give my take on all of my experiences, whether it's books, movies, events, etc. Now today I'll be reviewing The Odyssey, directed by Christopher Nolan, and has a motherload of famous actors. It stars Tom Holland as Telemachus, Zendaya as Athena, Matt Damon as Odysseus, has Travis Scott in it too, and lots more. But is it actually worth the time? I've seen many debates and discussions about this movie. A lot of people decided to skip it. Some were going to wait until streaming, and some said they liked it. Now, after watching The Odyssey, I can say that you're definitely missing out if you decide to skip it. Now, what's the movie about? Well, it's an adaptation of Homer's Odyssey, and the genres fantasy, mythology, and epic drama. But if you haven't read the original book, the basic plot summary is this. The story follows Odysseus, Greek king of Ithaca, and his years-long journey after the Trojan War. Along the way, he deals with cyclopses and other beings as he tries to come back home. Meanwhile, back in Ithaca, his son Telemachus has to deal with usurpers trying to steal his father's throne. Definitely an interesting plot, but that's all you need to know going in. Now, The Odyssey is definitely a movie where you can tell they put time and effort into it. And I didn't find any issues with it, and there's a lot of things that I liked. But 3 things stood out to me the most. And number 1 is the superb acting. Now, a lot of people were upset with the acting choice and what Christopher Nolan decided would be the best for the roles. But I can say that the actors did an incredible job in my opinion, and the movie wouldn't be the same without them. Now, Tom Holland definitely surprised me as Telemachus. He did an incredible job in my opinion, and I was shocked with how serious he was, because a lot of other people assumed he could only play half serious, half comedic roles like Spider-Man or Nathan Drake. And I can say the same with Matt Damon and Travis Scott. They all did relatively well. And number 2 is the visuals. Now, the movie's different from a lot of others because it goes to actual locations in the Mediterranean and doesn't rely too much on CGI. I personally thought that made the movie look better and feel better, and real-life locations usually give the movie a more practical world scale that CGI fails to create. And number 3, the messages in the movie. Now, I personally felt as if The Odyssey did a great job with the deep emotional and psychological moments in the movie. And there's one particular scene with Odysseus later in that really made me, the viewer, feel his emotion. And that was probably my favorite scene as well. Now, I also like Travis Scott in the movie, since he played Demodocus, the bard that gives the famous "A war, a fleet, a trick" verse. The film's almost flawless, and I couldn't really find any issues with it. Now, a lot of people were upset that Achilles, the famous Greek warrior, wasn't in the film, but at that time period, Achilles died in the Iliad and doesn't have much of a role in the Odyssey since it happens later on. Now, there is one thing in the movie that was noticeable, and it's how some scenes feel longer than others. But it's not to the point where it's an issue. So, should you watch this movie? Well, you'll most likely enjoy it if you're looking for films that keep you immersed until the end, films that have deep messages in them, or if you're studying the Odyssey and want a modern adaptation alongside the original book. You might want to skip if you're looking for films that aren't long or films that have a higher chance of younger audiences enjoying and understanding. And if you think this is a movie that has action all the way through, this movie might not be for you. It's the kind that has a character-driven journey and doesn't focus on action too much. Now for the final rating. I'll give The Odyssey a 9 out of 10. It was worth the time, and it's definitely a great movie for anyone who's interested in Greek mythology. Now let me know in the comments if I missed my mark or if I was right. I may feature some of your takes in the next episode. Life's too short for bad movies. I'll help you find the good ones.